Hi, my name is Sawyer, and I am a student right now doing cybersecurity and network software, or network, network development. Um, and I am currently using the platform TDX Arena to do the practice arenas, the challenges, and right now I'm going to do the Breaking Hollywood challenge. I've already done this a few times, but whenever I did it the first time, there was no like walkthrough or anything besides one YouTube video, and it was very hard to follow along. So I just wanted to make it a little bit easier for people to actually look at it and be able to go from there. Just 1 second. Okay. So, what we have for Breaking Hollywood. A few days back, you had an argument with your friend Hernandez about password complexity. He claimed that you would never guess his strong passwords. As a challenge, he had set up an SSH server and secured it with one of his default passwords. His password's not very secure. Your goals. You were provided with the username and password Corey and TCPZ2RRS exclamation to reconnect if needed. Create a custom word list to use against the accessible SSH service. Execute a brute force attack against the SSH service. And retrieve Hernandez's password and attempt to log into the server. And continue to the challenge. I already have it pulled up. Um, so what we have to do initially, it says that there's system failure. I will hope that it continues to go. Okay. So we need initially is your web server or your IP address, the username that we are working with. He is adopting a dog named Cachorro. We are filling our coffee cup, and we will use that in here. And we are using SSH port 22. So because we know that we're using cup, the easiest thing to do, if you don't exactly know what options you're going to use, just type in what your command is. So what we need to do right now, because this is for Common User Password Profiler, that's what cup is, we're going to use -I for interactive questions for user password profiling. So we're going to type CUPP-I space -I. This is going to make our dictionary by an outline of questions. So his first name is Hernandez. We don't know his surname, his nickname, or birthday, or a partner's nickname, birthday, or name. Nor do we know a child's name, nickname, or birthday. But we do know his pet's name, and his pet's name is Detroit. And I'm going to spell it correctly. We don't know his company name either. We are not going to add any keywords because there was nothing else for us to know. But we are going to add special characters and random numbers at the end of the words. And we're going to use lead mode. So now we have our dictionary, and it is titled Hernandez.text. So what we're going to use next is Hydra. And if you don't know anything about Hydra, the easiest thing to do before your options is look up Hydra. So we already know our login name because that is going to be the password Hernandez because we just created it, or we are creating it. And then we need to do -uppercase P because we're using the password file Hernandez text. And then we're going to use our server. So we're going to use SSH. Where's that? SSH. And then the colon forward slash, and then your IP address. And you're also going to use the port. So we're going to do Hydra space -L space Hernandez space capital P space Hernandez text .text. and then we're going to do SSH colon / 172.17.17 this one .17.0.4 colon 22. And because I already did it, I'm going to skip it. If it'll let me, it might not. So now we wait for a little bit, and it's going to attack and task all of the different um, logins. So it's going to try to log in, and it says that there's 2,244 login tries, and there's 141 per task, which is about the 16, I think. Math. Great try. So we already have 181 tries for the first round. If you are in tech or have an IT company, I would love to be able to work with you. Um, I'm interested in anything from a full-time position to an intern position. Um, I also really enjoy doing things like this where I am trying things that I don't know and trying to build the skills that I know I can have um, without being kind of guided through it. I like being able to figure out how to crack my own codes. So yeah, feel free to message me. I would be really interested in hearing about anything that I can get. This video is primarily for my classmates, um, just because I wanted them to be able to look through it without having to find the one YouTube video I was able to find. And I think that having someone who understands not that much more than them, if even, um, to be able to walk it through is going to be able to help a lot. And if it doesn't, then I still had fun doing this. So we are still attacking the shell. And we are currently 3 minutes into the shell. Or into the attack. For anyone like me that really enjoys being able to do stuff like this, some of the websites that I use regularly for things like this or for coding is Hack the Box, Try Hack Me. Um, Edibit is kind of a decent one. I also started using I just started using it the other day. Code in Game, and that one was really fun because you basically practice the code, but you're running a game from that code. So even if you don't have experience in coding, it gives you kind of the idea of what to do, so you can keep practicing it. And practice is what's going to make you understand it. Sometimes even more than just learning it does. Like going in and getting the technical experience and practice is a lot more important than just sitting in a class taking notes. Don't get me wrong, I love notes. I love taking notes. I love figuring it out. Like, I even made myself a cheat sheet that I could follow to be able to do this so that I didn't mess it up on this video. But, like, it's just really, it's something different to be able to put your mind into the work that you're doing and to be able to figure it out with, like, exactly what it is that you're trying. So definitely my suggestion is get on those platforms, get in the websites, get your experience and get your feet wet, especially if you don't have a job in tech yet, or you're trying to figure out if you even like tech to be able to go to school for it. I've really enjoyed the last 4 weeks with my classmates and my instructor. Um, and unfortunately, the introductory program that I was in is going to be finishing this week, and I'm not moving to the next pass because I don't think that financially it's feasible. Um, but I've learned so much in such a short amount of time by doing all of these little like cracking cases and try hack me's, and it's so enjoyable, especially if you have a passion for like learning and practicing and researching. Like there's so much fun in it, especially when you can actually sit and say, okay, what is exactly the thing that I need to ask for? Because that's how I found the original YouTube video that I used to find out how to do this, and um, how to get the exact things to get to the next step. Because if you ask, I even asked Gemini actually, how do I do a brute force attack to get a password? And Gemini can't tell you because that's considered black hat hacking, and it's just like we don't support any illegal we don't support any illegal interactions and engagements. And it's like, okay, so how do I find this? Because I need to be able to do it because I have to do it for myself. It's not even a required thing. I just want to get it done. And I ended up finding that YouTube video, following along, but still not knowing what it was that I was doing. I was just kind of like typing it all in. But being able to say, like, oh, well, now I know that cup is the common user password profiler, or Hydra is what you use to brute force attack because that is a password cracker. Like, I'm learning it, and I'm in school for it, and I'm learning it with hands on. So it's definitely giving me like an advantage to my learning, and I feel really comfortable with progressing like this. Like, even if I don't have someone teaching me, I can teach myself really well enough to be able to say, hey, I practiced this for like 5 hours the other day and I have a really good understanding of it. So definitely get your hands and your feet wet. Put your time and effort into it if you have the time. Um, this is a fun hobby to have, even if it's just practicing. Like, you might not be getting any kind of output from it, but you're definitely getting the technical experience. So I would check it out. We should be rounding it up soon because this is about how long it took last time. Although it may take a little bit longer because I am recording. Oh, there we go. Okay, so our host is 172.17.0.4, SSH port 22. The login is Hernandez, and the password is C4CH0RR0. So what we're going to do here is we are going to open our SSH, and we are using the username login Hernandez. Actually, let me see if I can get this. Okay, so we're doing this. What we need to do is SSH and then the login, so we can just put in his name and then add the IP address. So we're going to do SSH Hernandez at 172.170 or 0.04. Nope, 0.0.4. And yes, because we're going to continue connecting, and then we're going to put in the password C4CH0RR0, and we have cracked it. So then we're going to pull this code. Maybe not all that. Copy. We're going to go over here to TDX Arena, submit your flag, and you've breached your target. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to ask me. I may not have the answers, but I do not mind looking them up and figuring it out for you. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.